Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. I sincerely hope everybody is doing well today, this evening, whenever it is during the day or night that you click on to this video. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, it is so wonderful to have you. It's wonderful to have you either way. Today, I thought what we would do is messages from the teaching of Abraham deck. I'm going to leave some videos down below for you to see who Abraham is. He's basically, I don't know if you can call him an entity. It's part of the universe, but he's channeled specifically by a woman from the mid-80s, Esther Hicks. There's plenty of information online about them and plenty of videos that Esther Hicks has talking to Abraham. Talks a lot about raising your vibration and law of attraction. And again, Abraham is the name that they've given this beautiful energy, but really it's just source. It's talking directly to the universe. And like I said, I will link a couple of the videos, especially about raising your vibration. And, you know, for abundance, there's some money manifestation videos that they have done before Esther and Abraham together. So this is the Getting into the Vortex. It's a deck of relationship cards. So I thought we would work with these today because right now we are definitely moving into sort of a different higher vibration timeline. So I thought that with all the changes and transitions and transformations that everybody's going through spiritually, and moving through the essence of like duality, good versus bad, them versus us, that sort of thing, which is happening very much on a 3D level in the world as we're seeing now, it's really important to keep your frequency up and to raise your vibration. So I thought what we would do is get you some really practical information about how to keep your vibration high, and how to stay there. A lot of us have moments of really high vibration and then we can get brought down by what's going on in the world, which is completely normal, very human. So I thought this would be practical advice in order to be able to do that. So this deck will help us do that. So we have 3 piles here. And the way in which these cards work, they have a little instruction at the front, just checking in on where you are. And then in the back, it actually goes through and gives you a lot more information. So we should be able to get quite a bit of information for you today about your vibration. So this is your foundation vibration, where it is that you are with your vibration, how it is that you can work on your vibration to keep it higher or keep it at a high state all the time. And then obviously we'll be working with these cards, the Vortex cards all the way through the reading, but then we'll do some tarot and some oracle cards to give you some more advice about what it is that you're going through. And again, anything that we can, any kind of information that we can give you to practically show you, which is what we want to do at Unicorn Light Tarot, practically show you some insights that you can apply them to your life and really make these readings as tangible as possible, and see them as a sort of activation and some sort of healing rather than just guidance and support, which of course we are there for you too. So a little bit of everything. So also the other thing I wanted to say is whenever you choose this is a timeless reading, but should you, you know, actually watch this reading within, you know, 3 days of it posting. Today is the full moon. We also have an eclipse today. It's very, very powerful. So, you know, if you watch it today or within, like I said, the next 3 days, you can definitely take advantage of this full moon, put out moon water, all sorts of gems, cleanse your gems, all sorts of things that you can do to enhance your personal power and ritual. If you do spell work, you can do that too. There's different essences and levels of spell work. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, traditionally quote unquote spell work, however it is that you see magic or however it is that you create magic. But this is a particularly powerful time today and the next 3 days. So take advantage, even if you you don't want to do any of that stuff and take advantage of the meditation and whatever it is that you learn from these messages today, it would be of great value. Yeah, this eclipse season has been really transformational and activating for a lot of people. So hopefully that will come in for some extra messages and some extra magic for us today. So let's get on and do this. So pile 1, we have the pink heart. Pile 2, we have a purple heart. And pile 3, we have a blue heart. It's always advisable to take a couple of breaths. If you need to, go ahead and pause the video and come back to it, do a little meditation. The clearer your mind is and the more in touch you are with your intuition is the more that these readings will resonate with you. They are general readings. I give you all the information that's given to me. Try to make them as specific as possible, but they are general readings. But yeah, getting yourself into that headspace, even if it's for the next 20 minutes for each pile, whatever pile that you choose, to be able to get in there and take in the information, it's always advisable. Again, we're only ever working with beings of light and love and high frequency to get you messages that resonate with you right now in this present moment, because why wait for anything to see if it comes to fruition? We're getting you information absolutely right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Just as a shout out, one of my cats is in the room. She just recently got sprayed in our backyard by a skunk. So she's been very stinky and she's been in a bad mood for the last 2 days. So we've been pretty much letting her do whatever she wants. Not that she didn't do whatever she wanted before. So she's in the room giving good energy, even if she smells a little bit bad. So if you hear anything rustling in the back, I promise you it's her. So let's go ahead and move these out of the way for now. Pile 2 and pile 3. We will come right back to you. So if you chose pile 1, again, we are working with getting into the Vortex. The deck here, Messages from the Teachings of Abraham deck. And this is your foundational, this is your foundation right here. We're going to find out where you are in your vibration and what we can do to help you elevate it or stay where you are. So let's just put your beautiful pink heart over there, your beautiful sensitive pink heart. And we have, my true success is measured by my alignment. Okay, let's see if you can see that, if it's coming into focus. Okay, alignment with source. Being inside your vortex of creation, becoming one with the true expanded version of you is the ultimate selfishness. And yes, in that state of alignment, all good things must come to you. Every rocket of desire that you have launched will be fulfilled. And then down here it says, true success is not the attainment of things, the achievement of tasks, or the achievement of financial abundance. True success is the coming into alignment with you. Yes, selfishly aligning with your dreams, your desire, your clarity, your confidence, your knowledge, your love with yourself. So already, let's get some tarot cards coming out for you too. But already I can see, in a wonderful way, pile 1, I could really reach into your energy there right at the beginning with that pink sensitive heart that you have, your beautiful open heart, and also sometimes feeling as though, the exterior of the world and what's going on, and the old is coming up and bubbling to the surface. And yes, there is a little bit of chaos, but there has to be some chaos for it to be preceded by peace. That's just the way it works. And even though you know that on a preliminary level, it still hurts your soul. You have such a beautiful, sensitive heart. I would say that for a lot of you, you have sort of a loner vibe, although you vibe within people who are like you. And if you found your true soul tribe, that's wonderful. And for those of you, again, obviously these are general readings, but if you're looking for your soul tribe, then that can be difficult too when you're trying to do this alone and navigate who you are. And I feel as though you feel absolutely everything, but you've shifted with your alignment. Part of your activation recently is really learning that it's not selfish to put your energy first. Absolutely not. So we have the Knight of Swords, and it's reversed. And let's see what we have here too. And we have the Tower. Yeah, I can feel that you have had a Tower moment. And the way in which you express your truth is a little bit differently, but that's wonderful. Now, a lot of people are nervous about the Tower because sometimes it can come up as really unexpected. Things just sort of blow up. You know, the roof has been lifted off here and like you're falling into sort of sudden descent. I would say for you, that you were feeling as though a lot of this was going to come up for you. None of this is a surprise. I think what it is, it's really getting into your body and learning everything about yourself. I feel as though you've been such a giver your entire life, pile one, and a lot of it's gone against you. People have taken from you, and people have taken advantage of you, or at the very least, they've hurt you because you've given them so much of yourself here, and like you've not been seen for who you are. And I feel as though that, you know, because you've given so much of your energy to others, you didn't take that time to really sit with a lot of who you are, a lot of your own energy. So you might have been a little bit afraid of your own power even. Now, that's not to say that you're not confident and you don't have it together. That's true. But, you know, certain energies and where they rest in your body, like really getting in touch with how your energy works, your meridians, your chakras, all of that. You're the sort of person that if you trust somebody to work on you, you're really happy for other people to work on you. But this has been a really beautiful understanding about being in alignment for you. This has been the sort of the aha moment of really understanding that your true alignment is not being in control. It's releasing into going with the flow. But more specifically, it's absolutely about getting to know your own power and your own energy, putting your energy first and cutting out who and what doesn't work. And initially that may have seemed really selfish because you're thinking to yourself, there's a part of you that wants to save the entire world. There's a reminder here that you're not here to do this on your own. You're not here to do the work on your own. Again, if you've not met your soul family of truth yet, they're coming to you soon. But there's elements and sporadic versions of yourself throughout the world, and you are in contact with them. You know intrinsically that you're not doing this work on your own and you're not expected to. But you do take on a lot of the negativity, especially the energy around the duality in life. And that's very difficult for you. Because you're such a sensitive, empathic soul. But what you're doing here, you're really understanding the alignment of who you are, putting your energy first and not being ashamed, actually standing in your power and your confidence, saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to block this person. I'm not going to put up with this. And understanding that your energy, whatever you put your energy towards is what you're pulling in to your circumstance, and understanding that you don't need to fight every battle. You don't need to save every person, you know, but still standing in your own light. And at the same time, there's also been a shift of what it is that you thought you wanted in the world, which I think is really important. Not that you necessarily want fame and fortune, but everybody wants to be seen. But the beauty of it, you've just released the idea of wanting to be seen. You want to be seen by yourself. And in that realization, you release the need to be seen. And the ironic thing is that you're going to be seen for exactly who you are now. Whereas before, you were wanting to be seen by being active in the world and trying to help people constantly, but not being repaid. It was like a seesaw. You were very much down at the end, and the other person, you were helping them, you know, rise up. And then when they rose up, they'd either like leave, or they would treat you badly, or very rarely did you have people in your life that could really bring back the energy or match the energy that you put out. And again, this is not at all about, you know, saying nasty things about people. If anything, you've severed your past and you know you can't go back there. They were doing as well as they could in the moment. That doesn't mean to say that you need to put up with those actions. You can say, again, I'm done. But, you know, you don't necessarily, you know, be done with the person is one thing, but be done with the memory. You know, there was still an inkling of you, still a part of you that still wanted to be seen, but your inner self was desperate to be seen by you, and now you're doing this work, and it's absolutely beautiful. So considering that we're using this deck, let's go ahead and pull up. Now, all of this realization is pulling up your vibration, right? Now, on practical terms, as we want to do in Unicorn Light Tarot, in order for you to keep your energy high and your frequency high, you have to have those boundaries firm for now. As your energy really comes into itself, you will automatically bring around the people that you need, and you won't need to sort of be not defensive, but you won't need to actively ensure that your boundaries, that they are up. But for right now, it's important for you. So I'm tripping over my words. The Mercury in retrograde's coming through thick and strong. I love the energy, but I do find communication sometimes a little bit. So bear with me. But yeah, so protecting those boundaries for now, it's really important for you to do that. The way in which you are speaking your truth, the way in which your higher realms of thinking are coming through are being switched. So we're actually going to turn that up, and you can see the energy already. It's, the swords to the sky. You're ready to share your truth. You're not doing it to be seen. You're doing it because you know that you are the light. The other realization that you have, and if you keep with this realization constantly, I promise you, your vibration will not stay. It will stay. I promise you, it will not drop. It will stay where you are now, which it can be very high. Is that everything that you need is within you? Now, I know it sounds really woo-woo, right? And people say that all the time, but the realization of that has gone right into your soul. Looking on the external, whether that's waiting for somebody to validate you or see you, or waiting to be well paid for what you do, you realize that there's an exchange with the universe, but you're no longer seeking what it is that you're seeking to be in the world. Your level of self-care has gone up. What it is that you want to express is being expressed differently. You've really come into tune with what it is that you want. Now, ironically, success is owed to you in this lifetime. You will have it, but your relationship with it is extremely different because there's no attachment to it anymore. Before, your attachment to it is that if I get to this level, then I've made it. That understanding of who you are is now gone. And to remain in that alignment is how you keep everything, including your beautiful vibration high. So let's pick another one for you. This one's calling to me. Others' opinions. Yes, perfect. Others' opinions are less important than my personal guidance system. Okay, out of all the things that I could have picked here, that is absolutely perfect for you. So here, you did not intend to use the opinions of others to measure against your belief, desires, or actions in order to determine the appropriateness of them. Instead, you knew and still remembered long after you were born that it was the first relationship between the opinion or knowledge of the source within you and your current thoughts in any moment that would offer you perfect guidance in the form of your emotional guidance system. What did we just say? Absolutely perfect. It does not matter the opinions of others. Your inner guidance, everything within you is all that you need. Now, it's important that you know that, and I'll tell you why. You beat to a different drummer, you're going to do things differently, and not everybody's going to understand. So if you do things, if you work with your intuitions and you do things and you get out there and do them, and then somebody who comes from, less of an outside of the box perspective goes, what the hell are you doing? You second guess yourself. You've already put a dampener on what you're doing. So it's more important for you to protect your alignment and literally say to hell with everything and everyone else. You're going to do it your way. Now, if things don't take off the way that you want to, they will, by the way, but you have your own way and your own path. So you need to trust it. And if something isn't working in the way that you thought it would, you're still going down that path. And that's the lesson you needed to learn to be able to take off. Part of what you're doing in this lifetime is timing. For you, divine timing is absolutely integral in this lifetime. You have to go through certain things that when you take off, it will seem quite... it will seem as though it happens sort of overnight that you take off, but you've been working towards the taking off your entire life. I absolutely promise you. getting to the Knight of Swords, moving on up in that way has taken you your entire life. And it's all about the divine timing. When you take off, you'll be ready to do the work. Your voice will be in an alignment with who you truly are. If you took off last week, you'd still have doubts. You know, for you, everything is divine timing. So no more comparing yourself to anyone or whatever it is they're doing and the way in which they're doing it, except that you're going to do things a little bit differently. Your internal system will tell you when you're going wrong. If there's anxiety or you're feeling negativity or you're getting these runs in your head of going round and round and round of these loops of negative stuff, you've gone down the wrong road. You know, all you have to do is pull yourself back. You've honed in on the 3D energy of what you should be doing, quote unquote, versus what your internal version of self is telling you. When you're at peace and you know what you're doing, you're connected to source, you're being told that, you know, you're being validated, do it, even if it seems crazy. People who make it in this world, they think outside of the box. They do some crazy ass shit. But at the end of the day, those are the ones that have the guts to do it. You're one of those people. So don't listen to anybody else. You've come into this alignment. You've been activated already. Your sensitive soul is definitely where it needs to be. It just needs to remain in that high vibration. And the way in which you'll do it is to literally cut off the opinions of others, right? Just don't worry about it. You know, and it's okay to understand that people have their own agenda. They do. It doesn't make them bad people. You can see in the connection in others who we are, but it doesn't make them bad people. I'll tell you a little story. I allow all comments, of course, on what it is, you know, on Unicorn Light Tarot, but I like keeping it really high vibe. So when there is a bot or, you know, when there's a really sad little comment, I do take them off because I want to protect you guys too. You know, it's a nice place that we have here on the internet. And if you can't be bothered to be nice, then I'm out. So somebody left me, I actually thought it was really funny and I almost left a laughy face, but somebody said, you know, paraphrasing, I really liked your video at the beginning, but you were using your hands so much that it was ruining my good mood. So preserving my good mood was the first thing I needed to do. So I had to turn you off, and they gave me a dislike, which again is totally fine. So the first thing I was thinking was, that's actually really funny. And then the second thing I realized was, okay, you just, you know, you didn't need to be like really, you know, I know that we're in lockdown and everything like that, and people want to be smart and funny and you're not being seen. But, you know, there's nicer ways to do it. But the reason why I'm telling you this story is as I started today, I really did use my hands in the last video a lot more because Mercury retrograde, I was really trying to get the focus with communication, and I was doing it with my hands, so that's why I was laughing. But as I started doing this video, I was very conscious of my hands, right? And then I thought to myself, no, stop, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is exactly what I'm talking about with you. Somebody gives you a snotty remark, somebody says something, you're very sensitive, it goes in, and even though you don't really necessarily take it in, you're so open and you want everybody to have their own opinion. And I do too. I absolutely never shut anybody down. I'm happy to do it. Like I said, I did erase it because what's the point? Do you know what I mean? But I feel like at the end of the day, you know, making sure to keep your vibration high, making sure that whatever anybody says, whatever's opinion is taken and then released. It's really important for you not to take on any external information right now unless it resonates with your vibration. If it's lower in vibration, get rid of it, take it off, let it go, and go about your own business. You have no idea if that person's jealous. You have no idea, you know, why that person would have said any of that stuff. It's really important for you right now to have boundaries for the external world and for you to really, really come into this profound relationship with your own energy. Where is it? Where is your energy? Where is it lying? Where is my power? How am I doing it? Getting back to you, which is something that you are not used to doing because you're so used to including the external and other people. Let's see what we've got here. So mountain strength, and we've turned it around. It did come out. Initially, reverse, but we're turning it around. The mountain strength. The mountain doesn't ask for permission. It's just there. That's what you're doing, returning to you. And the way in which you communicate with your truth will be very different too, because it's coming from a place of power, from your heart, speaking from your heart. The other thing that you can do too in a practical way is belly breaths, really taking in energy from your belly and like really cleansing your internal organs, and really exhaling from your belly. It will show you where your energy is, where your power is. This is a new relationship with you, which is absolutely wonderful for you. All right. Let's also get you these. This is Making Magic. So we're going to give you a little bit more advice too, but really this is a very exciting time for you to reacclimate your soul with your heart. This is all about you putting yourself first, and don't you dare think that you're selfish. Absolutely not. It's a life changer. So we have Labyrinth here, and again, these can be used, these sigils, alchemy symbols can be used. Labyrinth, transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibrations, enlightenment. Absolutely, that's what you're doing. Without a doubt, that's exactly what you're doing, and that's how you will do it. Coming back, and it's also a phase of learning to trust yourself, and not looking for others in any way, shape, or form, of the external, to tell you who you are. And it changes the way that you think, that you talk, that you communicate, and it's a really beautiful way for you to be in this world. So these are my 21-day. I will be actually putting this online soon. I have for your inner child out there, or your outer child, I have a 21-day working with the unicorns, bringing back magic into your life. So I made these oracle cards here to go along with that. So let's just choose one of these for your final message here. Perspective is everything. Look up when you feel down. Trust yourself. I mean, we couldn't have asked for anything better. Again, it's about trusting. Now, when you trust yourself, you will automatically trust the universe. And that's another thing that's been knocked out for you a little bit before, trusting the universe, because you didn't trust yourself. When you're relying on the external, you're a little less grounded than you need to be able to trust yourself and the universe, and understanding that you are an extension of the universe. That understanding of yourself wasn't quite relatable, or wasn't quite sort of clicked in as well as it is here. Now, this is a profound place for you to be as a sensitive and as an empath. It's really, truly beautiful. So keeping everything up, keeping your alignment up, and watching your thoughts too. Again, if they go to the dark side, which, you know, we do, bring yourself back by putting up those boundaries and come back within yourself. Really explore your own energy and your own power. It's absolutely wonderful at this point for you to be able to do that and hone in on that. Your version of truth, the way you communicate, the way you go through this, will determine how high your vibration stays. If you've already gone through the tower moment, you should be on the other side of that. Again, this is a general reading. If you're going through the tower moment right now, please stay with it. I promise you, the external is just being burned away right now, and you're being asked to go back to source, which is you, heartfelt you. Your chakras will heal, especially the root chakra, which has been a little bit shaky recently and throughout your life. It's working on getting back to soul and source, and connecting you back to yourself, and again back to the universe. So hang in there, pile one. You've got this. This is not a small thing for you to go through, not a small thing for you to do. The power is within. It's very powerful, and I know that you've got this. And I know that you've got that mountain of strength there. And I know that you can use all of your sensitivity and your empathic ways to get yourself to where you need to be, putting yourself first. So those are the messages I have for you, pile one. If this resonated, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. And of course, subscribe. I do aim for 2. At the moment, I have so many other things going on too, but this is always a priority for me. I'm finishing up a book, but I do plan on 2 readings a week. So if you're subscribed, it'll come up straight away. Hit that bell icon. I would love to be there to at the very least support you in these beautiful but chaotic times, understandably. I am sending so much love and light to you. Please stay safe and sane until we meet again. Pile 1. Okay, my beautiful pile 2, if you chose the purple heart, bravery, crown chakra, moving on up, then this is your foundational card here. And again, we are using messages from the teachings of Abraham. And what is your vibration? So this is your core vibration here. We'll give you some practical information about how to either raise it or keep it where it is. So this is your first card. My life is about my relationships. So this is your card here. I hope it's in focus. You will never find yourself in a point in time where the subject of relationships is not an active part of your new experience. For everything you perceive or notice or know is because of your relationship with something else. Without a comparative experience, you would be unable to perceive or focus any kind of understanding within yourself. Therefore, it is accurate to say that without relationships, you could not exist at all. So let's get some tarot cards for you. So this is about your relationships with yourself and with others. And also the understanding that the connections that you have in this lifetime are really important. And the other message that I'm getting for you, pile 2, is what you focus on. You know, all of this stuff sounds really woo-woo, but you've come into that activation. If you pick pile 2, hopefully this will resonate with you. Really and truly understanding that what you focus on and who you choose to engage with is an exchange of energy, and really understanding how that works. You know, your energy could be lowered with the vibration of the person that you're speaking with, and the other side of that, it could be raised with conversations that you have with others. Now, it's not to say that you want to cut out other people, but there's some people who are open and willing to learn and less resistant, and there are people where, you know, you engage with them and they have a lower frequency, and people have the chance to higher their frequency by being aware. This is a free state. In Earth is a free will zone. Everybody gets to choose what level they want. They get to choose if they want to be open or not. It takes a lot of courage to go through and be responsible for your own energy. Most people are happy with projecting. It takes a lot of guts to do this work. If you want to be in high energy, your relationships need to be around people who are willing to do the work and at least willing to be open. Now, the main message that I'm getting for you, pile 2, is that people that you thought were open, you're finding that they're not, and you're in this kind of like double-edged sword. I don't know if that's the right kind of metaphor here or the right saying for that, but you know, learning to, even people who are supposedly spiritual or this, that, and the other, who you thought were previously open, you know, we are being shown here that people have still confines. They're confined within their own mind. They're doing their best, but you're trying to figure out here if these are the people that you're supposed to be in and around. Yeah, absolutely. And sort of second guessing, you know, who it is and the energy that you have around you. Maybe feeling guilty about cutting people out. You know, maybe I should be there for you. But, you know, understanding that they are stuck in this idea of duality, you know, good versus evil, them versus us. It's a very sort of dangerous place to be in. As human beings, we automatically stay there in the 3D, and there's remnants of it as we're moving from the 3D to the 5D. It's a very difficult understanding. It's the way in which the chaos is happening in the world is that the world is crumbling, and the one thing that needs to crumble is the duality. But, you know, we've had duality for thousands of years. It's the way in which the classes have controlled us. So duality is extremely important. They use it against us. If you don't have duality, then there's no sense of real connection, because, then you can segregate people literally, figuratively, mentally, physically, everything. Without duality, you have no power over them. Now, we're finding out as we move forward, people who are dedicated to the cause of light, we're finding that, the duality is difficult for some people to move through and to understand fully. Even though they're holding the light, they don't understand that they still hold the duality, and some are being sort of somewhat manipulated by it. This is something that you are well aware of, pile 2. Your relationships with yourself, your relationship with duality, your relationship with people who previously were around you and are still struggling with duality. They may not know that they're struggling with it, but how you engage with them. Remember, your energy is an exchange with somebody else. Are you going to lower your energy? It doesn't mean that you're better than somebody else, but are you going to lower your frequency? Because the world needs you right now up on that high frequency, to understand and take a step back and say, this is their path. They have to learn them for themselves. This energy needs to click into their consciousness. I need to do what I need to do. So this may be a difficult moment for you, pile 2, as you really understand the essence of betrayal, how people work in the essence of duality, how people use duality to justify betrayal, to justify being manipulated, to justify all sorts of things that you are not willing to do anymore. That's not to say that you're not susceptible to it. You have just had an activation where you're really understanding it. You're blossoming into the understanding of what duality does, but you flit in and out of it. This is what your reading is about. To stay and remain high frequency, you need to have those boundaries up for now and just choose who to give your energy to. If somebody is not understanding the essence of duality, it might be time to let them go for a while. You don't need to be mean about it. You don't need to write all over Facebook about it, but it's just, you can send them on their way. This is where you find the people who are falling away from who it is that you want to be. People that you may have been in and around and thought that you would be rising together. This is when our own individual paths come in, and this is where we have the timeline to hold the light and move forward. You are moving forward, pile 2. You're doing the work that needs to be done. It's not that they're not, but there needs to be some kind of activation and realization on their part. That's something that you can do if you hold your frequency high and keep where you are. If you keep lowering your frequency to try and show them, quote unquote, duality, then you're lowering your frequency, and then you're in this 3D mode where you're just exchanging lower frequency. They're not really getting it. You're getting frustrated. Let it go. This is where you understand that how betrayal works, and cutting certain aspects of your life and relationships. You're cutting them loose and becoming free. Now, for some of you, these are general readings. For some of you, that may seem awful. Oh my God, I'm letting them go. This is awful what I'm doing. There's a part of you, I don't want to say the word martyr. I think you've gotten through that. There was a martyr aspect in you that you wanted everybody to be okay. You went overboard, made sure that everybody was okay in the past. Now you've been activated beyond that. You know that you can't do that anymore. You still take on some of the energy from the external world, but when it happens, you can pull yourself back and come back into alignment. It takes a little bit of work, but you're there. You will learn how to integrate that energy where you no longer need to do that. But it's important for you to understand the relationships now. This is your next level of how you create your sanity, how you create your sort of kingdom on earth. It's okay to let people have their own path. It's okay for them not to get it. It's okay for you to think that, you were on the same path, and then watching them go off into some kind of Quasimodo, whatever they've got going on. Let them go. Let them go. Even if they think they've got it. They've absolutely got it. It's ego talking. This is where you get to the point where you see the 3D and the 5D. People who are spiritual, but really clinging on to the 3D and claiming the 5D, and you doing the work and having to literally sort of cut cords and cut ties with that energy in your life. Feeling bad about it, certainly, but understanding that this is is your path, and remaining high in the frequency later on down the road gives you the energy, gives you the light to be able to help them in a way that you're not able to help them if you're going one-on-one with them right now. So this is where you're at. I know it can be a little bit difficult for you, and I totally understand why. Also, I totally forgot, getting ahead of myself. We are using the Vortex deck here, so let's go ahead and give you one more. I've just noticed that getting very dark in here. We have a little bit of a rainy day here in Santa Fe, so I noticed the lights are a little bit dark, but sorry about that. So we have, let's do one more Vortex card, get you a little bit. This one's coming at me. Causing pain for others would attract pain to me. Okay, the flawed, oh, let's just show you this. Okay. The flawed premise, my groups, our way of life is the only correct way, therefore all other ways must be stopped. What did we just say? Out of all these 60 of them, what did we just say? Is the basis of the majority of unhappiness on this planet. Not only do these beings push against the pain, but those doing the pushing feel it as well. In fact, the unhappiness least fulfilled among you are those who are pushing against others, because in doing so, you are disallowing the most important relationship of all, the relationship between you and you. So this really goes with this, and this is exactly what we were saying, down to exactly what we're saying. My groups, our way of life is not only the correct way, therefore all other ways must be stopped. This is the understanding. I couldn't have put it better myself. In fact, I should have been more clear. This is exactly what I was saying before. You know, part of a group, splinters are coming off. Everybody's saying this is the only way, this is the correct way. Anybody that tells you there's one way of getting anywhere is absolutely wrong. I don't care who they are. There's a million different ways to getting where you're going. As long as you have an open heart, you don't judge others, you're connected, and you don't hurt anyone or anything in this lifetime, and anything that you teach or preaches doesn't do that, or cause any kind of injustice, then there's a million different ways of getting somewhere. Please, 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 you know this already. So if your group is splintering off and you know what you're doing, the relationship comes back to you. Now, there's a little bit of a byline here. There's a little bit of connection with pile 1, although it's a very different reading coming in from a very different source that was coming in from the interior, knowing yourself. This is releasing the exterior and then coming back to knowledge and relying on yourself. So there's a little bit of a leeway there between both of you. But understanding that, again, you know, lowering your energy, and it's got nothing to do with ego, or I'm lowering myself to your point. It's got nothing to do with that. But, you know, as a human, we often go up and down with our frequency. But this reading is about going into the highest frequency you can and staying there. Again, compromising your frequency by people understanding, you know, we're now realizing what's going on as the world is illuminating. Everything's being illuminated, and all the darkness being illuminated. It's all coming to the light. That's why it's all kind of festering, coming out and feeling like chaos. It's happening on a personal, interpersonal, global level. Absolutely. So it's happening on an interpersonal, between you and others, and a personal level. So it's important for you to choose your sanity. It's important for you to understand that your energy comes first. Your path comes first, and accept that your path may not be on the path of others that you previously thought were there. Now, your soul family is coming in. If you have elements of your soul family, if you have remnants of your soul family, you know that you're not physically connected right now, there's an actual soul family that's coming around you that's completely creative. You may not have met them all yet, but coming into this understanding of oneself will bring them in. And these are the people that are absolutely on the same frequency as you, and not only there, maybe even a little bit higher, so you can estimate and bring your energy even higher, and they will keep you at that high vibration all of the time. So right now you have that island and you have that solitude. I'm being called to do one more for you here. Yes, love and compassion. Okay, that's the one I wanted for you too. Right now, these are general readings, and very often, if you're resonating with this pile too, you know, you're all at various different stages of what it is that we're talking about. If you're in the island solitude, I've just let a lot of people go, or I'm thinking about, letting people of my tribe or my soul family go a little bit. And, I'm wondering, am I stepping, at step one? Am I going backwards? Is this how I should be doing it? Absolutely. Come back to love and compassion. You can have love and compassion for those people. Have love and compassion for yourself. Understand that this is absolutely phenomenally your path. This is exactly where you need to be. And releasing the old, moving into the new, staying in the love and compassion, which goes beyond this duality of I'm right, you're wrong. This is, this cause and effect kind of rubbish that gets us absolutely nowhere. Come back to the love and compassion that you have. Do the work of releasing the people that are staying in there. It doesn't mean you need to stay, released for them forever. But for now, do that. The love and compassion will bring you back to the higher version of yourself, a loving compassion, and bring in that soul family a lot quicker than you would have if you stay around this energy and really try to stay there. The other thing you can do is try to figure out, why are you staying around these people? Is it because, you don't want to be alone, or, a part of you wants to save them, or a part of you feels as though you need to do this? Check in with your ego too. Sometimes your ego goes in and says, it's up to me. I'm going to put on the Wonder Woman suit. I'm going to make everybody see the truth. Sometimes you just need to stand in your love and compassion and just be a bearer of the truth without saying a damn word. And that's the best thing to do. Choose your situation wisely. Sometimes it's time to step up and use your voice. You can still step up and use your voice and say, I do not agree. This is the time to do that. You can still release after that, come back to love and compassion, and still let them go on their way. It's really up to you to use your voice and your own version of truth the way in which you want. And when it's resonating from your heart-filled space, from that high vibration, because you're not lowering yourself to others' vibration, then you know that the truth in which you speak will absolutely stand for the truth, and not sort of get into this, back into this duality, will not mirror this understanding of duality, which really is just so done. Obviously, we get there. So let's do the making magic. Let's get you... okay, water. Work with the element of water for healing, purification, and refinement. So this is another thing. This is a sigil that you can use too. I will link what it is that I use for the Tarot and Oracle cards below. I love these cards. I resonated with them. The minute I saw them, I knew I had to have them. But you don't have to. You can take a snapshot of it if you want. And again, as I said, if you listen to the beginning intro, whenever you watch this, if you watch it on the full moon or 3 days afterwards, we are absolutely in. We have an eclipse today too. This is beautiful energy. Snapshot here. Use the water element, alchemy symbol. Again, going with the flow, release what needs to happen. When we have the element of water, it's purification. Let what needs to go, go. As you're moving down the river, that's the version that I'm seeing of you. You're just moving down the river. You don't have any baggage with you. I'm not saying that people are baggage, but some of that energy is baggage from the 3D world. If they choose to carry it for now, it doesn't mean that you need to. So that is your main message here. We have one more. I just talked about this in pile 1. I'm just about finishing up. For those of you who are interested in getting back into your inner child, I'm working with your inner child. I am doing a 21-day working with unicorn magic to bring back that essence into your life. And for fun, I sat with my inner child and I made these 21 oracle cards to go with that beautiful what is that word? Course, my goodness. That will be released soon, that I will be putting out to the public soon. So let's go ahead and finish off with these. Let's see which one comes out for you. Your true self lies in the pain and heartbreak that created the passion you possess. That little unicorn there. So, and that's another way of bringing you back to love and compassion. Understanding that, sometimes we need to get broken in order to move through. Everybody has their own way of building themselves up and understanding, when things and systems crash within us, we have that tower moment, having the courage to move forward and being part of this light movement and really working within our inner realms and allowing ourselves to have the courage to be better people is really, really hard work. And you understand that there is passion and heartbreak in everyone. So again, respecting everybody's version of where they are, but not taking on that energy anymore. It's about preserving your own energy, working from the heart space, really understanding where you come from and paying special attention to the relationships in your life, putting your own relationship with your own spirituality beyond duality is the first and foremost. Again, we have the purple heart going up into the crown chakra. It would be great for you to work with your third eye and crown chakra too, some meditation, some clear out, getting you really, really clear with your own source head and getting you very connected, coming back to love and compassion. For those of you who are already seeing people either pull away or people that you've had to pull away from, and feeling a little bit of that betrayal and being on that solitude, I promise you people are coming in. That connection is coming in for you. The real connection of your true soul tribe that's going to be absolutely on your level, if not higher, pull you up, do whatever you need to do, be there for you. Will not just be there for learning things. That people come into your life so you can learn what you need to learn from them. And we often want to keep them in our lives, but they're there for specific messages, for specific lessons, and then we get to move on. Some of these people that you're letting go are just that. Let them go. But your soul tribe is coming in. Those people you're going to be connected with in a brand new way. You're going to feel why you're here. You're not doing this work on your own. Creatively, they will pull you up. You will feel much more secure in your life. This is coming. Stay with your higher realm self. Do the work that you're already doing. Concentrate on your relationships. Again, putting your relationship first, and you will absolutely call these people to you sooner than you think. Okay, so those are the messages that I have for you, pile 2. I absolutely and sincerely hope that they resonated with you. If they did, do let me know in the comments below. Feel free to give me a thumbs up and of course subscribe. It's an excellent thing to do. I'm aiming on getting out 2 videos a week. I am working on a lot of creative projects, including finishing a book, but this is very much my high priority, and it would be an honor for me to be able to do that, be there for you, and, at least support you in these times. So subscribe if you feel like you want to and you want this energy in your life. I am sending so much love and light to you and so much support for what you're going through and who you are. Until we meet again, please stay safe and sane, pile 2. Bye-bye. Pile 3. Last but not least, if you chose this beautiful blue heart, this is yours. Again, for a recap, we are looking for, these are messages from the teachings of Abraham deck, the little vortex that we've got going on here. And we are looking for ways to assess where your vibration is and how to either raise it, or if it's up there, keep it high. So this is your foundation. This is your foundational card. This will give us a real insight of where you are, and then we'll get you some other cards, how to keep your beautiful vibration high. So I don't know if you can see this. I want this to be absolutely so you can see this. It's a beautiful card, lots of purple, definitely getting third eye and crown chakra for you already. I can stop attracting don't wants by attention to do wants. See that right there. And on the other side, we have the explanation. You cannot rid the world of things that bother you. You have got to rid your vibration of things that bother you. And when you rid your vibration of things that bother you, no things that bother you can come. But if you cannot really rid anything from your vibration, because there is no exclusion in this attraction-based universe. The only way to stop attracting something that you don't want is by giving your attention to something you do want, but you have to take small steps in it. Okay. So we can see where you are. I'm also going to get some tarot cards for you immediately as we do this. So your attention to what it is and how you manifest has definitely shifted. I can feel as though there's been a lot of ups and downs for you, a lot of activations. You've gone through a lot of stuff. and you know, a lot of breakthroughs. Some call it breakdowns. A lot of breakthroughs. And the one thing that I can see for you is baby steps. The way in which your mind worked before, you have a lot of desire, you have a lot of passion, you have a lot of drive. Some of you might even be Sagittarius. I feel a lot of fire energy, but like this sort of far-reaching fire energy that you have. Always thinking long term. What do you want? All of that is absolutely brilliant. And you know, attributing that fire energy and taking it down a notch, where you are bringing your focus very much back into the present moment, which is something that you don't always do. Your present moment is preceded by the past and going into the future. This is very human, and this is, you know, what we all do. But you're understanding recently, you're understanding that the present moment is all that we have, and in that everything is baby steps. You also understand directly that your energy is really powerful if you do very little. Bear with me as I help you through this, talk you through this. Death. Okay, so you have death reversed. I'm going to choose another one for you. So the way in which you were working has shifted, and the hangman is reversed too. So the way in which that you are working is very, very different. And that's a good thing. You've been working toward moving forward and really expelling the old and moving into the new. Now, there's a part of you that you have a dramatic flair, which is absolutely beautiful. But you know, there's a part of you that believes in sort of the universe when you get these sort of dramatic shifts. You'll even put up with like the detrimental stuff because it's a dramatic shift. The universe is pulling you through and understanding that the present moment and doing very little, bringing the attention back into the present moment, is the most powerful thing you can do. Before, your passion was out there. It was outside. It was external. It was absolutely going out into the world and seeing what you could do. Let me do this. Let me take this course. Let me do that. None of that was bad. It's wonderful. In fact, what you've done is you pulled in a hell of a lot of research and beauty. You're the sort of person who absolutely understands, you know, I've read this book, done that, done a lot of research. You can bring that into who you are. That's great. But how you get there in the world is not necessarily a linear format of moving forward in the way of sort of, I do this, I take this company and I move forward and I do that. The way in which you are going to work is presenting yourself into the present moment and taking baby steps and redirecting. Sorry, that's my cat. She was underneath the table here and she just crawled out. Let me get her out of the way. She's going to scream. All right, I hear you. Yep, sorry about that. Just keeping it real here. Pile 3 at Unicorn Light Tarot. So where were we? So it's very much about how expansive you are. You have shifted your version of the word expansive. Expansive now for you, which is really bright and beautiful, is very much about pulling back into the present moment and just small shifts in thinking, which gets you further than you ever did before, with all the preparation, all the practical mindset, everything that you did to, you know, kinetically put your energy out there. You're almost doing the opposite, but yet bringing back so many more results than you were before. There's an element of release. There's a new connection going with the flow. Things are coming at you where you're like, oh my God, I didn't think I was going to be doing this, but I love it. Somebody just came to me and said, would you be willing to do this? And I never would have chosen this for myself, but I absolutely love it. The other thing that is going to be happening for you, if it isn't happening already, these are general readings. And I do find that, you know, even if the reading is resonating with you, people are at different sort of degrees of the reading. So, you know, if you're at the point where you're realizing that everything that you've put yourself out there for, everything that you've wanted from the universe is now coming back to you, but not because you're laying plans and doing it the way that you did, putting in that hard work. It's because you're staying in the present moment. You're accepting yourself. You're shifting your energy from the outer to the inner, from your third eye all the way through your crown chakra. And now it's just taking off with minimum effort. absolutely minimum effort. Whereas before you put out all of that effort, 40-hour week, oh my God, I'm exhausted. You're doing nothing and it's all coming back to you. Now, that's not just because it's divine timing. That's because you're doing the work. You now know that baby steps, small shift in consciousness can do everything far better than what you were doing before. Because really, at the end of the day, real talk, pile 3, what you were doing was an essence of control. You weren't in complete alignment. You were trying to control the outcome. You weren't necessarily working with the universe before. You were trying to take care of everything because there was a part of you that didn't necessarily believe that you would get it or that you necessarily deserve it. Now, there's been a massive shift recently. You do know that you deserve this. You absolutely not only know that you deserve it, you know that you're here to do it. You've been activated right into your path. This is why you're here. Why else would you be here? You absolutely know that intrinsically. That's been clicked into your last activation. So that's part of why you're able to do this and sort of let go a little bit. Let's get you some more information. We are working with the Abraham deck here. So let's go ahead and get you one more of these cards for extra clarification. That's the least we can do. Use these cards. This one's speaking to me here. All right, it's a pretty card. I can find harmony by feeling for improved thoughts. Yes, absolutely. I don't know if you can see this. It's a really pretty card. You've got the pastel colors here. You've got, like before you had, this is, the beautiful sort of intrinsic crown chakra, the purple, the spirituality. You've got the darkness seeing up into the light. Here you have the really light pastel colors, the difference in the view, just everything's lighter and brighter. You're not reaching for the light anymore. You're within it, right? So let's see what it says. If we were contemplating on action that caused negative emotion, we would not proceed with the action until we had resolved the negative emotion. We would make sure that we had come into alignment with source before proceeding. By feeling for the improved thought in time, and usually in a short time, you will feel the harmony of your source, and you will know by the appropriateness of your behavior. We would not look for long lists of right and wrong, but instead we would feel for the emotion of alignment with source. Yes, that's exactly what we've been saying. Reaching for the empowered thought, understanding that in those small moments, by switching your thought and understanding that coming from a place of knowing that you deserve this and this is happening, puts you in a connection and an alignment that no longer needs your control. Also, you can step back and give the sort of freedom. I don't know how this is going to happen. This is exciting. The other thing that's happening for you, you're starting to lighten up, have joy, have adventure. You're very serious, pile 3. You're brilliant at what you do. But at the same time, you can get a little serious with what you need to do. It's good to have lists and tick them off. But, sometimes, and this is a general reading, for some of you, this may not be for all of you, but for some of you, if you don't get absolutely everything done on the list, you're like, it's you have an achievement sense of who you are, and you will achieve so much in this lifetime. That's because you have so much to achieve in this lifetime, and you will achieve it. You have so much to give. That's where it comes from. But the way in which you will do it has shifted. The way in which you see that success has shifted. It's absolutely wonderful. So this idea of this dramatic death and this release of what it will look like is completely different for you. It's sort of in these small moments, in these real calm, peaceful moments of these solitude, these thoughts of I'm here, I've arrived. It's in those thoughts that you redirect the way in which you were seeing things, the way in which you were trying to control your destiny before, and seeing the results come back so much quicker. Let's get you a little bit more information here. It's a really powerful thing that you've done. Switch your connectiveness. It's not small in any way, shape, or form. It's what people try to do their entire lives, and you've just clicked into it because you know that you have to. It's a redefining of everything and everyone in your life. It's a redefining of how you treat yourself and what it is that you want from the world. It's a redefining of your connection to source and seeing yourself as part of that source. Rebirth. There you go. And that's your rebirth. You know, you were looking for that sort of, that death, that dramatic, like, damn, I'm here, I've arrived. And that sort of, that hanged man of waiting for this sort of, this calmness to come over you. And it's in that small sense of self that you are redefining how you are working in the world. You definitely have a Mother Gaia sense of way, moving away from the essence of the patriarchy and moving into your own magic. Maybe for some of you in the general reading, that's what you did. You had to let go of the way in which society told you to move forward. And in some ways you were really, really good at that, actually, because you know, sort of Phoenix rising, you have this sense of competitiveness, but in a really beautiful way. You have this desire to move forward. There's nothing you won't do. There's nothing you won't try. You're really beautiful in that way, but the essence of that was being used to sort of block you in and to do it on society's terms. So you were sort of working within the box, but at the same time, you know, feeling as though you need to work harder and put more work in there. What you've done in those small moments is you've returned to your own magic, and you're doing it on your own terms. And you realize that the kinetic energy of moving forward actually is much more powerful if you go within and you switch your consciousness. Everything sort of clicks in. And this is what you're doing. This is the profound essence of Magick. Again, if you listened to the beginning introduction, if you are watching this, you know, on the full moon or 3 days after the full moon, or you can wait for another full moon or the new moon to come in. It's a time of magic. Use that energy from magic to really come into your own sense of magic and really create this small baby step, but like real connection with your interior, and create your own rebirth on your own terms. This is very much on your own terms. The death in which you were expecting and sort of leading up to, in a way, was sort of on others' terms, on the external terms, what it should look like, what it looks like in the books, right? But for you, you're writing your own books. You've got your own narrative. This is how it's working for you. It's this quietness. It's walking through the woods. It's this quiet knowing, this quiet peace, this understanding of who you are. It's this interconnectedness. I know it sounds really silly, but I'm going to say it. I always tell you what I'm shown. Hugging a tree, feeling that connectedness, knowing that energy, really coming down to the basics and actually feeling it and feeling that power and having that power as a tarot within you, and nobody can take that from you. It's something the way in which you're working now is unwavering, whereas before you worked harder because there was an essence of yourself that believed it could be taken, you know, because you were working on somebody else's system. Even if you made it there, somebody could take that away from you. The way in which you're working now in these small moments, nobody can take anything from you anymore. You're working outside of the system. You're working on your own terms. You're pulling in your own magic. You know that you don't have to prepare for the worst anymore. You don't have to wait for the other shoe to drop, because you're not working within a system that you never wanted to work in the system anyway. You just felt like you needed to. You're brought up in the system. You've now eradicated it, and you know that was not an easy process for you. You've eradicated the system. You're working within your own system. There's nothing to prove anymore. Nothing can be taken. So you don't have to always, you know, when you're thinking about the next move, you don't always have to think about what could go wrong, so you could figure out 3 or 4 different ways to get out of it. You know, you don't have to do that anymore. You now know from your own intuition and your own singular thought process that the baby steps, that peace and connection, it's going to go exactly the way that it's going to go. You don't have to prepare for the worst anymore. It shifted everything. So now you can concentrate on everything that you do want, and not, you know, give a little space to things that just may not work out, just in case. It's completely different ball game for you. It's absolutely beautiful. Keeping your vibration up is really very simple. keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You know, if it's very simple. If your thoughts go back to any kind of negativity, or trying to go back to trying to prove yourself or working within that system, you're going to feel a little anxiousness, even a little nauseated. Whatever you feel, you know, you're heading back into that. Just go back into that small moment. Pull yourself back into the present moment. Use ice cream, music, whatever you need to do, smelling salts, lavender, whatever you need to do to pull you right back into that present moment. Remind yourself that that's the old way. You're not going down that path anymore. And then you can bring your consciousness back into exactly what you want and not preparing for what you don't want anymore. So let's see what we have for the Making Magic. I chose these because of the full moon. I'm pretty sure this will be uploaded on the day of the full moon. But if not, Making Magic, these beautiful cards are still great to use at any phase of the moon. So what do we have for you here? Time to shine creates the energetic resonance for golden opportunities. This is already happening for you. So this is a sigil that you can use too. You can take a screenshot of it if you need to. Alchemy symbol, whatever you need to do. Time to shine. This is the way in which you're working in the world right now. It's beautiful. It's small. It takes no effort because you are in alignment. There's no need for control anymore. It's beautiful. Keep in that energy. If you go back, we often every now and again step right back into the 3D energy. It reminds us of what it feels like. It will feel icky and you will feel it, and you can pull yourself back right out of that and get right back into the way that you're doing. Remember, this is you. Spring equinox. And I'm not saying anything negative about these tarot cards, but I want you to look at the images, the difference of the images with the death reversed. And this is your rebirth. This is you. This is colorful. This is, greenery again, getting back into the forest, bringing back your magic, your bloodline, all of that stuff. This is you doing it on your own terms. And again, time to shine. All you have to do, keep it up, and everything will come back to you. Everything that you put out there is going to come back to you, but it's going to come back to you by doing the baby steps, not by overworking your mind and your effort. No effort required, none whatsoever. You now know that you're worthy of everything that you've asked for. Not only that, but you've clicked into the activation again to remind you of why you're here. This is exactly why you're here. Why would you not want to do it? Of course you're going to be successful. So to end, as I've already said with pile 1 and pile 2, I'm just about to release. I'm very excited for your inner child, your inner baby, and your soul. My 21-day working with the magic of the unicorn realm. So that's going to be available very soon. So I came up, I let my inner baby go nuts, and I came up with this 21 oracle cards to go along with this course and had a little fun. So we're going to end up, your last message will be this one. So let's choose from here. Let's see what it says. There is no one who will know you better than yourself. Dig deep, accepting every part of you, then you shall know the world. Could we not have asked for anything better? That's exactly it. Your world is you. Once you pull everything in, keep everything in the present moment, just focusing on the high vibration, what it is you do want. Absolutely dig deep. And again, if there's anything that you need to do to accept every part of yourself, knowing that you are worthy of everything that you want, if there's a little extra cord cutting you need to do, go in with meditation and do it. You pretty much got this though. But nobody will know you better than yourself. That's really it. So, working outside of, the system of thoughts of who you are in your own organic format is never going to work for you. So, never return back to that. You don't need to. That's absolutely. And, your reflection, we all know that, how we see ourselves is a reflection of the world. We all project to a certain extent. So if you're feeling a little grumpy, if you're feeling a little, sort of non-objective, a little judgmental, you know that you've slipped a little bit into that 3D again. We all do it. Bring yourself back to self. Remind yourself that you're brilliant in what you're doing. The baby steps is all you need. Remind yourself that you accept every single part of yourself and you're worthy. Not only that, you've activated into your path. You're here for a reason. You are going to do this work and you're going to be phenomenal at it. As you improve your own version of self, you will see the world in a better place. You'll automatically come back. It all starts with a reflection of how you see yourself. So that's another practical way of bringing yourself back into the present moment. So that's what I have for you, pile 3. I sincerely hope that resonated. If it did, do feel free to give me a thumbs up. Please let me know in the comments. I absolutely adore hearing from you guys. And of course, subscribe. I do aim to come up with 2 videos a week, even though I am finishing off a novel and a couple of other things. Unicorn Light Tarot is very, very much a part of my life, and it's very important for me to be a support for you. So do feel free, if you do want this support, to go ahead and subscribe. I would honestly be honored to have you. Sending so much light and love to you. I am so excited for you, pile 3. All of this is going to be so much easier for you. I know you've had a time of it, but all you have to do is stay in your frame of mind, keep it small, baby steps, and watch your life transform with minimum effort. Honestly, sending you so much love and light. Please stay safe and sane. And until we meet again, pile 3, bye-bye.